Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Hartford Whalers expansion franchise. My name is Gormy and today we are going to be doing the draft for the entry draft in our very first season with the Hartford Whalers. We're going to be doing free agency, making some moves most likely via trade in the draft and free agency when it comes about, depending on who is available. And then we're going to do the lineups and then get the team ready for season one. So, without further ado, let's get into it. But before we do get into it, I'm going to be linking my Twitch and socials down below, so make sure to check those out. And do not leave without leaving a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Now, let's get into it. So, last episode, we selected our main core of players that we have off the rip to work with on building our future here in Hartford and towards making some deals. Now we've got Ryan Strome, Eric Stahl, Brent Burns will be moved. Shout out to Brent Burns, actually. He was just in an episode of Vikings, if any of you watched that show. He looked dope in it. We've got Anthony Cirelli, Jake Debrusk, Dustin Brown, Frank Vetrano, Rupe Hintz, Matthias Ekholm, Vladislav Nemesnikov, Zach Sanford, Jack Roslovic, Eric Gustafson, Devon Tays, Ethan Bear, Ryan Hartman, Dennis Malgin, Andrew Shaw, and Josh Manson. Now, in the AHL, we also have Jake Bean, Daniel Sprong, Josh Osang, Oliver Shillington, Noah Juleson, and Antoine Roussel. And then in net, we have got Mackenzie Blackwood, Tristan Jarry, and then for the AHL, we have got Philip Gustafson. So we've got a very, very good core group of players, especially younger players. I really like what we have to work with for AHL, building it off the rip. Now, NHL-wise, as the game is glitching out right now, this is great. All right, so what I was saying before I had to restart the game because it crashed, I really like what we have young player-wise. Now, we've got Jake Bean, Oliver Shillington, Noah Juleson, Ethan Bear to build around on the back end. Now, all of them will hopefully fit the system that we want to play because on defense, we got to decide, all right, do we want cycle pinch or shoot pinch? Now, cycle pinch will be moving the puck, and pinching will be going up, meaning going into the offensive zone, helping out the forward group. The shoot part of the shoot pinch will be shooting the puck. So cycle and shoot are pretty self-explanatory, but pinch is the defensive players pinching up into the zone and helping out with the offense. Now that can bite us in the ass with them coming back on defense, but they should be fine coming back with the players that we have. Now, for the draft in the previous episode, I was talking about Magnus Christensen. I would like to either get Magnus Christensen or Kirill Korluk, or we can move that pick, get some players, prospects, or even picks in the future, or move down and get Matteo Pinot, which I would very much be up to doing and getting Matteo Pinot because I believe that he will be a very, very solid player. Now, with Brent Burns, I'm not sure what we're going to be able to get for him, but we could probably package him to get Matteo Pinot, maybe even another prospect, but I might be moving Brent Burns and another player or Brent Burns and a pick, trying to see what we can get and max out that trade value with them to get as much as we possibly can for our future here in Hartford. Now, I'm probably not going to be using all the picks in year one. I'm probably going to be picking round 1, round 2, round 3, and then trading the later rounds for picks in next year's draft because next year's draft is absolutely stacked. Now, with the players that I am going to be moving, I'm not going to be moving a whole lot of them, but I will be moving some because I do have the players that I want to start building around with this franchise. So hopefully this draft is good to us and that we can make the moves that we need and that we can get the prospects and picks for our future that we definitely need to make this Hartford Whalers dynasty possible. All right, before we get into the draft, I went through our trade block, updated it because I had a bunch of picks on it. I don't want to get rid of any picks as of yet with the Hartford Whalers. Now I've gone ahead, put Brent Burns on there, Josh Manson, Dennis Malgin, Ryan Hartman, and Devon Tays. Now the reason why I put Josh Manson and Devon Tays on here is because they do have value, and I believe that we can get more for them now than we will be able to in the future. Plus, I don't think that they're really going to fit with what I want to do here with Hartford. I'm moving on Ryan Hartman just because he's going to be wasted, and he definitely deserves to get some playing time. I really like him, but he's not going to get playing time here with Hartford. He'll be a scratch. I'd rather have Frank Vetrano come in if needed. And then Dennis Malgin, he's not... I picked him for his trade value. He's not a part of the picture here. But Dennis Malgin will definitely bring back a decent package. It's not going to be anything amazing, but he'll definitely bring back at least a solid prospect and a pick. But the Josh Manson and Brent Burns trades are going to be big for us. And if I can package them together, great. But that would have to be a team that would be willing to take on $12.1 million for at least 3 years. So that'll be pretty hard. But if I can package them together, I'll definitely do it. But if not, you guys will be seeing separate trades of Brent Burns and Josh Manson. Now, without further ado, let's get into the draft. All right, so I've looked around the draft. No one really wants to move their picks. There are some solid players here. I was trying to get the second overall pick and the third, but I think we're just going to hold on to our fourth. But at this fourth overall pick, I'm not sure who I want to take because there is Vince Brodziak. He is a defenseman, 17 years old, 1 year away from playing in the NHL, and is similar style to Brent Burns, so he has some offensive upside to him. But there's also Matteo Pinot, who could potentially be a sniper. He's only 2 bars, so not for sure a sniper, but I really, really think if his similar style is to Luc Robitaille, he will be a sniper. And yes, he is 3 years away, but I think that would be a fun project to grow this player. And he would really, really become a storybook type of guy that could help bring the Hartford Whalers their first Stanley Cup in franchise history. And, I mean, starting off with a left wing sniper, I think would be a very, very good option. But once again, Vince Brodziak, a year away, he would be a two-way D-man, most likely in a similar style to Brent Burns, who has offensive upside to him. So that means Vince Brodziak has some offensive upside to him. He is cycle pinch, I believe, so it would work. It's just we're trading away Brent Burns now. We would basically be getting a left-handed Brent Burns with Vince Brodziak. He is 17. Matteo Pinot is 18, so Vince Brodziak does have the year on him. It's just, do we take Vince Brodziak and then we would have to move to either 5, 6, or 7, or hope that Pinot somehow slides to us at 10? Because I could acquire that Winnipeg pick pretty easily, but I'd much rather not miss out on him than hope that if we were to get the number 10 pick and hope that he slides to us. So I might be making a move for 5, 6, or 7, and if I do, I will definitely let you guys know. So it is now our pick at number 4. I've gone ahead, called 2 timeouts, gives me 12.5 minutes to make any moves I want to make, trying to acquire some more picks. Now, Magnus Christensen, the kid that I wanted to go with originally, trying to move up and pick him, he just went to Detroit. And looking at him, he's an offensive defenseman, not a two-way D-man. He is Cale Makar 2.0. You look at his puck skills, very solid. For 79 overall, very solid. His senses, pretty solid. Defense, same thing. Skating, amazing. Shooting, great. And his physical stats, yeah, they need some work, but they will get there as he is only 18 years old. He has that medium elite potential, and he's a offensive defenseman. So Detroit really just got a great, great player here at number 3. I really, really wanted to get him, but now we have got to decide on who we're going to take, what we're making moves for, because before they made that pick, I tried to get 5 and 6, and neither team is budging on giving up either pick. And those are the picks that we would have to try and acquire to get Pinot, potentially. I mean, we could try for 7 from Anaheim, but I have a feeling that LA would pick him, or maybe even Ottawa would pick him. So I really don't want to go for that pick from Anaheim. I'm going to go for this pick from LA, and if I get it, I will let you guys know. All right, so I could not get that deal to go through with the LA Kings, but I did acquire the 7th overall pick. Hopefully Pinot will fall to us right there. If not, I'm just going to trade this pick for Pinot and probably some prospects. If he ends up being a top 6 guy, that is. Now, I had to give up our first rounder in 2025 and our second rounder in 2025, plus Dennis Malgin for this pick. Now, hopefully Pinot drops to us here. If not, we can take this pick, get Pinot, and maybe another prospect or 2 from the LA Kings if he ends up being a top 6 forward. Because if he has elite potential, I don't think that they are going to want to trade him. But hopefully Pinot will fall to us at the 7th pick. All right, so for Devon Toews, I just moved him to the Columbus Blue Jackets. I got Vladislav Gavrikov and Emil Bemstrom. Now, Vladislav Gavrikov is going to be playing with Ethan Bear, probably on the 3rd or 2nd, maybe, defensive pairing for the Hartford Whalers. Now, Emil Bemstrom will be playing in the AHL for us this year. Hopefully he develops where he can be a top 9, top 6 guy for us, because he has top 9 forward potential as of right now. But he is 21 years old, so we can definitely grow that potential to be top 6 if he ends up going off. But I definitely believe that with the players he will be playing with down in the AHL, that he can really, really accelerate his development with this team and be a very, very good player for us in the future, hopefully once he gets to the NHL level. All right, so I just made a blockbuster deal. May not be a blockbuster deal right now, but in the future it's going to be incredible. Now, I just traded Josh Manson to Montreal. I also traded our second rounder this year that I said we were going to keep to Montreal. Also traded our third rounder this year that I said we were going to keep to Montreal. But we don't need those picks anymore because we just acquired Caulfield from the Montreal Canadiens. That is correct. Caulfield from the Montreal Canadiens. For Josh Manson, who's 28 years old and at 4.11 mil, I can't talk right now because I'm so happy. 4.1 million per year, plus our second rounder this year and our third rounder this year. Yes, I had to retain some of the salary, but it's only for 3 years, and we have plenty of salary cap to do whatever we want with it. And now we have Caulfield to lead the Hartford Whalers into a dynasty. This is going to be one hell of a franchise, people. Here's a quick look at his stats. He is only 19 years old right now. He will be playing in the AHL for us. He is 75 rated currently, but this dude, I did a Montreal franchise last year, and with what I had around him, he was scoring 50, 60 goals a season. So if we can get that out of him this year with the Hartford Whalers, this is going to be incredible. All right, so I've just moved Ryan Hartman to the Vancouver Canucks, plus our, I believe it's 4th, 5th, and 6th rounder this year, because there's no one at that range in this draft that I know of that I would want. So Ryan Hartman, 4th, 5th, and 6th, for Jake Virtanen to play first-line minutes with Jake Debrusk this year. So our wingers as of right now, it will be Jake Debrusk with Jake Virtanen on the first line, and then Sanford and Grigorenko on the second. So I really, really like that already. All right, so I could not move Brent Burns before our pick. I'm still going to try to before our next pick at 7, but with the 4th overall pick in our very first draft with the Hartford Whalers, we're going to take Vince Brodziak, two-way D-man potentially, but with elite medium potential. Let's see what he actually is. All right, two-way D-man, 74 overall, medium elite potential. He will be playing down in the AHL for the first season, 6'4", pretty solid stats. And yeah, he is offensively inclined. But I mean, though, for 6'4", 85 acceleration, 85 agility, 85 speed, that's pretty solid. He's got 82 shot blocking, 81 stick checking already. I mean, it could have been a lot worse, but I mean, I will definitely take that. He'll definitely grow a lot this first season, maybe even to like a 78 overall, maybe 79 down in the AHL with the group that we're going to have. I'm really excited to see what we can do with Vince Brodziak here. All right, I've traded Brent Burns to the Boston Bruins for their first-round pick next year and a fourth-round pick next year. So we're going to have 2 first-rounders in our first 2 years in the NHL with the Hartford Whalers. That is massive for our prospect pool. This team's future is going to be very, very bright. All right, so LA, even though they need defense more than anything, went with Matteo Pinot. He is a medium elite playmaker. If we were able to have selected him here at 7, he would have been the perfect prospect to be growing alongside Cole Caulfield, because then at that point, all we would have needed is a power forward at the center position. But next year's draft, hopefully we are picking higher, honestly. I know that I want to be able to compete the first year, but also I would like a higher draft pick so that we can get ourselves a playmaking center and maybe a power forward to go along with Cole Caulfield for our future here in Hartford. All right, so I went ahead, moved our pick to the LA Kings. Yes, they just took our boy that we wanted, but we just took their boy. Their future center, Quinton Byfield. So now we have a power forward center for the future here. Who would have thought we now have our potential franchise center and potential franchise right winger in our very first year? This is crazy. Honestly, like, yes, they still get Matteo Pinot. They're now probably going to take the D-man that's available, which I really wish they would have taken him there. And then we literally could have traded this number 7 pick to LA, gotten Pinot and Byfield and Caulfield. That would have been the greatest GM moves of all time right there. But we ended up not being able to get Matteo Pinot. But we were able to get Quinton Byfield and Cole Caulfield. Now, yes, we no longer have 4 first-round picks in our first 2 years. We're only going to have 3. But there's a player that I want to bring in through free agency that if he is there, come the trade deadline, can't talk, I'm going to be moving him for a first-round pick coming up. Now, we only had 1 pick in this draft, but it was a big one. Vince Brodziak, welcome to the Hartford Whalers. Really excited to see what he can do. But, I mean, with all the moves that we made for the better of our future and to have a bright one, I mean, it's looking like the Hartford Whalers are going to be a major threat in a few seasons, especially once Cole Caulfield and Quinton Byfield are going. Whew, this team is going to be disgusting and a potential dynasty. All right, so there we go. Draft finish. Vince Brodziak, welcome to the Hartford Whalers. Now we are going to go into contract negotiations. Now, we got to sign some players like Ryan Strome. We're going to have to re-sign him. But, I mean, everyone is going to be re-signed, as you can see here. Ethan Bear and Mackenzie Blackwood, we got to sign both of them. They will both be signed. Everyone's going to get signed. But come free agency, I'm going to be targeting one player in particular. Hopefully he is there. If not, I'm sure we're still going to be able to bring in some people on defense that I can flip at the trade deadline for us. So, Ryan Strome is our only UFA. He is 26 years old, 84 overall. Going to sign him for 4 years for $5 million. Hopefully he will accept that. I don't see why he would not. Now our RFA list is a little bit longer, and by a little bit, I mean a lot. Now we've got Anthony Cirelli, Jake Debrusk, Rupe Hintz, Ethan Bear, Jack Roslovic, Vladislav Gavrikov, and Oliver Shillington. Every single one of these players is integral to our future here, especially Jack Roslovic, Rupe Hintz, and Anthony Cirelli being that third line that's going to be together the entire time here. Now, Jake Debrusk is going to be our first-line sniper until Cole Caulfield is ready. Then he will go down to the second line and be our second-line sniper. Ethan Bear will be playing up this year. Gavrikov will be playing with Ethan Bear. Then Oliver Shillington is going to want NHL money, but I'm only going to sign him to a 1 year for now so that he can play at the AHL level, not on a whole lot of NHL money, that is. And then next year he will most likely be coming up along with Jake Bean and Noah Juleson if they all develop the way I'm hoping they will develop. All right, so I'm going to be offering Anthony Cirelli a 5-year deal at $3.8 million. He wants 4.025, but I'm going to offer him 3.8. Hopefully he accepts. I don't see why he wouldn't. He's still getting paid pretty well. So hopefully he will accept. Next up, we've got Jake Debrusk. He wants 4 years at 3.975. I'm going to offer him 5 years at 4, even though he wants 4.2. He should accept that 4. We've got Rupe Hintz now. He wants 6 years at 5.025. If I offer him 5 at 4.8, I would think he would take that. He would be making $1 million more than Anthony Cirelli, so hopefully he will take that. Next up, we have Ethan Bear. He went 6 years at 3.9. I offer him 7 at 4. He should take that. Then we've got Jack Roslovic. 5 years at 2.5. Absolutely for this kid. That's going to be a steal. Then Vladislav Gavrikov. I was going to say he's going to want a decent amount for a longer term, but I'm going to offer him 2.5 for 4. He's a very solid defensive defenseman, and he scores in key moments, which is what we will definitely need. Now, see, he wants that NHL money. I might have to pay him 2, and then he is going to be playing in the AHL for the first year, only for the first year, and then he will be coming up. It's not going to hinder his growth. It's going to help his growth, so do not worry about that. And then goaltending, we have got Mackenzie Blackwood. Mackenzie Blackwood is going to be getting a very long contract, and he is going to get paid because I believe in this man, and I know that he can really pop off win-wise because I've had it to where he leads New Jersey to Stanley Cups in year 1 when he plays for them in the Sims. So hopefully he can pop off and get like an 86, 87, 88 rated for us in the first season. That would be absolutely amazing. All right, so we have gotten Jack Roslovic, Jake Debrusk, Oliver Shillington, Vladislav Gavrikov, Rupe Hintz, Ethan Bear, Mackenzie Blackwood, Ryan Strome, Anthony Cirelli. We got every single person that we needed locked up. Now, if we go to look at contracts, we still have salary cap remaining. We have got $9.4 million. Now, next year, Eric Stahl, Eric Gustafsson, both going to be up. Might bring back Gustafsson, might not. And then who else will be expiring? Let's check this actually. We have got, all right, so Eric Stahl, Gustafsson, Sanford, Grigorenko, all expiring. We're going to have to re-sign Sanford, Shillington, Bean, Hosang, Juleson. I mean, honestly, we're going to be able to afford everybody, and some of these players will be getting traded, such as Frank Vetrano, such as Vladislav Nemeshnikov. So that is $4.5 million right there. Maybe even Antoine Roussel down the line. Maybe Matthias Ekholm. I mean, Andrew Shaw is getting paid 3.9, so I might be able to, 3 years. We'll definitely get him on a cheaper contract. But I mean, this team right now, and I mean, Dustin Brown's getting paid an absurd amount for what he's going to do. But for 2 years at that, I mean, I'm not really looking to bring in Taylor Hall or anybody like that. So it's going to be fine because what we are really, really focused on is our future with this team. If we look at the system, I mean, Quentin Byfield, Cole Caulfield, integral parts to our team in the future. And I mean, all that we need to find now is that playmaker to play alongside them. And we will most definitely be able to find a playmaker in the upcoming draft that will be able to play alongside them in the future. And I mean, getting Vince Brodziak and having the defensive core that we're already building with him, Noah Juleson, Jake Bean, Oliver Shillington, Ethan Bear. Literally, we need one more D-man, and boom, that is our future defense for the Hartford Whalers. And we've got Tristan Jarry, Mackenzie Blackwood, Phil Gustafson, if one of them do not work out. So, I mean, we're planning for the present and the future as well, which is what every GM needs to do every time they are either coming into the league as a new team or just an existing franchise in general. You got to build for the present and for the future at the same time to ensure that your fans are happy now and are ecstatic going forward. All right, so the D-man that I'm going to be going after is Dustin Bufflin. He usually has a crazy amount of trade value at the trade deadline. Now, Mike Hoffman's not going to get that 8.1. I'm telling you right now, if a team pays that, they're crazy. But Dustin Bufflin is going to have quite a few teams interested, so hopefully he will sign with us. Probably going to offer him 5.2, actually 5.25, so that we are more enticing to him money-wise. And I mean, honestly, we have the potential of making the playoffs. So, I mean, if he looks at the roster and he's like, oh, yeah, this is a team that I would want to go to, that's great. Because we could definitely give him that opportunity to go to the playoffs. Now, looking through everyone, I mean, it's not amazing. We do need one more D-man, and I think Slater Cuckoo might be a pretty decent defenseman to bring in. I mean, his shot accuracy is abysmal, so never mind. But, I mean, we do need to bring in another D-man on the left side. Maybe a player such as Ben Hutton. He could, Ben Hutton I think we're going to go with as well. Just so that, 2 years at 2.2. Because if he is doing well with Dustin Bufflin, because they'll be playing together, if they're doing well together, then they will be traded together. Actually, no, Hutton is probably going to play with Gustafson. And Bufflin's going to play with Matthias Ekholm. So Bufflin's trade value is definitely going to be high, and Gustafson should be able to improve Ben Hutton's trade value. Now all I got to do is sign some free agents for our AHL team, and we should be good to go. Next time you'll see me is once I am ready to edit the lines. Actually, I'll probably have the lines edited already. So next time you see me, you will be looking at our roster. All right, so got the lines done. Everyone is where they need to be. We have a full roster. Well, 49 out of 50. We just need one more goalie. But first line on the NHL is going to be Jake Debrusk, Eric Stahl, Jake Virtanen. Second line, Zach Sanford, Ryan Strome, Mikhail Grigorenko. Third, Rupe Hintz, Anthony Cirelli, Jack Roslovic. And fourth, Antoine Roussel, Andrew Shaw, and Dustin Brown. Very, very solid lineup for a first-year team, I'd say. This third line of Rupe Hintz, Anthony Cirelli, and Jack Roslovic, I think, is going to be very big for us throughout the season. I think that they'll produce pretty well. Now, Jake Debrusk and Jake Virtanen are really going to have to step up, as well as Grigorenko and Sanford. I know that Strome and Stahl are going to do their parts. Now, defensively, I did land Dustin Bufflin. I did land Ben Hutton. So it's going to be Matthias Ekholm, Dustin Bufflin, Eric Gustafson, Ben Hutton, and then Vladislav Gavrikov and Ethan Bear. Now, for our scratches, when there's injuries, we've got Vladislav Nemeshikov and Frank Vetrano. I might bring up a D-man because I have a D-man down in the AHL that I can bring up if we ever need him for injury reasons. Then Mackenzie Blackwood and Tristan Jarry are in net. And then special teams on the power play, we've got Jake Debrusk, Ryan Strome, and Jake Virtanen with Ethan Bear and Matthias Ekholm. Then we've got Zach Sanford, Anthony Cirelli, Jack Roslovic with Dustin Bufflin and Eric Gustafson. On our PK, we have got Roslovic and Shaw with Gustafson and Bufflin, and then Hintz and Roslovic with Gavrikov and Bear. Now, when we go to the AHL team in a second, I did not think this team was going to be this good in the AHL. Cole Caulfield and company are going to really, really grow, and they should be Calder Cup contenders in the AHL. So our prospect pool and our job in the farm system so far, amazing. A lot of the players that are on the AHL team may come up to the NHL team next year. They would be replacing players like Eric Stahl, Grigorenko, potentially Antoine Roussel if I find someone else. Maybe even Jake Virtanen and Zach Sanford maybe. Matthias Ekholm, Dustin Bufflin, Hutton, Gustafson. But, I mean, there's a lot of spots up for grabs. And these AHL guys, if they really produce and really grow, they can come take a lot of these NHL spots from these guys. And we'll be able to make moves and get more picks and more prospects for the future of the Hartford Whalers franchise. Now, as we switch over, this team is ridiculous. Lawson Krause, Josh Hosang, Cole Caulfield, line 1. Daniel Sprong, Emil Benstrom, Valentin Zykov, line 2. Charles Shudan, Boo Neves, and Nicholas Baptiste, line 3. Then Scott Saborn, Lance Bouma, and Garrett Wilson, line 4. Love my grinders. They always produce. Then we got Oliver Shillington with Vince Brodziak, Noah Juleson with Jake Bean, and Jordan Schmaltz with Vili Saarijarvi because Arizona did not sign him. I also tried to go over Cialan. He was a Rangers prospect, but he went with Columbus. But, I mean, very, very solid group. And special teams, we got a +5 on the first power play unit, and Cole Caulfield's on that unit. So this first power play unit is going to be incredible because Cole Caulfield is a goal-scoring machine. Lawson Krause is a beast. Josh Hosang is really going to finally grow. Oliver Shillington's going to be a beast. Jake Bean's going to be a beast. So this first power play unit is going to be ridiculous to see how they produce throughout the first season. Our PK, it could definitely be worked on, but I mean, it's going to be solid. And then our goalies, really, really happy with who we have. We've got Philip Gustafson and Linus Soderstrom, who the Islanders did not re-sign. So we have 2 goalies with starter potential in the AHL. Now, I am going to sign another goalie in case one of our goalies at the NHL level gets hurt. Philip Gustafson is going to come up. And if he has to come up, he's going to most likely get stuck there. Now, it'll give a lot of time to Linus Soderstrom if that were to happen. I hope it doesn't. But if it does, I think Linus Soderstrom can definitely get the wins. And I mean, just this group is incredible. And scratch-wise, I mean, if we get any injuries, we have got plenty of players that can come in and do a job. Especially Chris Terry. He's always torn it up in the AHL. And Thomas Gravois is the player that I will most likely bring up to the AHL for injury reasons if we get an injury to one of our D-men. Now, I am going to go out and sign that goalie really quick for the AHL. I have a goalie in mind on who I would like to get. He's actually been playing at the World Juniors. Country just got knocked out, actually. So hopefully I can find him, and if I do, I will let you guys know in a moment. All right, so I could not find the goalie I wanted, but I found Colton Ellis. He may become something for us. Now, the Blues did not re-sign him. He's actually property of the Blues. So hopefully if he gets the chance to be the backup to Soderstrom, he does a pretty good job. Now, we have a very good system with our NHL players and our AHL especially. Now, the thing is, come trade deadline, this is what I want you guys to reply to in the comments down below. Come the trade deadline. If we are looking to make the playoffs, do we go for it? If we are not looking to make the playoffs come the trade deadline, like if our record is not doing very well, do we trade away players like Dustin Bufflin, Eric Gustafsson, just the players with value, and try and build up our prospect pool even more? Let me know in the comments down below. That is going to do it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. This team is off to an amazing start, especially for our future. It's going to be incredible with Cole Caulfield and Quentin Byfield leading the way. So please do not leave without leaving a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll be linking my socials down below as well as my Twitch. So if you want to check that out, feel free to do so. And until next time, please be safe and have a good one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.